welcome back.
Welcome back.
No podcast last week.
Yeah. It kind of threw my whole week
Yeah, I
off.
know. I was in
It's
Boston.
all right.
I was in Boston. Went to see
Yeah.
Dermot Kennedy.
Cool.
Fantastic time. Never been to the Garden. Have you ever been to the Garden?
Madison Square Garden?
Yeah.
Yes, once.
No. The TD Garden in Boston.
No.
No.
I
Anyhow.
don't think I've ever been to Boston.
Oh no.
Not the city.
Anyhow, good time.
Yeah.
Dermot put on a great show.
Oh, great.
You can check out
So your pictures, yeah.
on our Teachers Tab just a couple videos of the performance.
Yeah.
But
and you going in. There's a little picture of you going in.
Yeah.
Holly doing her drift.
Drift off.
Drift away.
She loves to be in the video and then disappears out of the video.
It's just like when you were in Ireland. That was great, man.
But a lot happened and we haven't been around.
I know.
Since we were in Boston, I brought home a Boston beer.
Oh, nice.
This is my favorite beer.
You said that before, I think, the Cold Snap.
I love Sam Adams, but this is Sam Adams Cold Snap.
All right.
It's a wheat beer with some orange.
Yeah. A white ale.
White ale. It's really good.
Yep.
It only comes out. Sam Adams is great with seasonal beers. Interesting enough, while we were in Boston, I stopped at an establishment. I was hoping they had Cold Snap on tap. The guy's like, "Oh, we don't have Cold Snap anymore. We have Summer Ale."
Oh, they already
rotated.
rotated.
They already rotated.
What's this, Hallmark?
But, you haven't had this before?
I don't think so. I've had the winter ale.
The winter ale's good. Yeah.
White.
And you probably had their you need
the regular one?
the Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I think I had that.
Sam
And
Adams.
the bar we go to has it like the year round, the standard lager, Sam Adams lager.
Yeah,
I
Sam
don't really
Adams
drink
lager.
that. Yeah, people love it.
People do love it.
They're on it.
But this is if you've had it, it's what's
It's a limited release.
Limited? What's the ABV?
ABV 5.3.
Yeah, drinkable.
So it's a little higher.
Is there any bitter bitterness
sorry.
used for this? Okay.
I don't think so.
I think you're going to enjoy this. You've never had it before.
I don't think so.
All right, so your
All
first
right.
Cold Snap. Cheers.
That's it. Cheers. Yeah, it's good.
It's a good one, right?
It's a good one.
Nice,
Light.
light.
It's not too.
Coming out of the winter.
Yeah.
So you're getting rid of the heavier beer. You're not quite ready for that summer
Real light.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
like a Corona or something like that.
I think we had this.
Yeah,
about,
and it does have a lot of bite to it. Usually that at the end, it's like.
There's a little orange peels to it. You get a little orange flavor to it.
Yeah.
I enjoy this. This is like I said.
This
if you haven't had a Cold Snap, one of my favorite beers. It won't be available much longer.
It just says limited release.
They have a spring beer called the Porch Rocker.
Ooh.
That they roll out.
That's a good one.
And then of course
good imagery. You're on the porch
yeah.
drinking. Yeah. Nice one.
All right, Jim. Since we've been gone.
Is it another song?
Something big happened in Washington. That could affect us or could affect our careers or our friends or families' careers.
Oh, okay.
Trump did an executive order to disband the Department of Education.
Oh, yeah. Yep. They were talking about it.
Yeah, pretty.
Yep. That's a big one. Yeah.
That is a big one. I mean,
it's a big one.
I think it was established in 1978.
Yeah,
something
back in
like
the 70s. Yep.
Yeah, well,
I think it was Carter, maybe.
If you know anything about me, I've taught special education for 35 years, 36 years, and always proud of working with disabled students.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard nightmare stories of prior to the Department of Education and something called IDEA or the IDEA Act. Something, by the way, that the new Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. Yeah. You know anything about her?
She's the wife of the WWE, Vince McMahon.
Yeah, correct.
I'm not sure about her educational background.
I don't think she has much.
I don't think.
But she was on TV last week, and they asked her if she knew what IDEA meant, and she didn't. No. See, being in special education, we're the acronym, IEP, SED, LD, IS,
right?
ID.
ID.
You should know what IDEA. Okay, it's an act that protects individuals with disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Something really important to me, and I've heard nightmare stories of before the Department of Education. Many, or maybe all special education students were excluded from not only the general population, but a lot of times from regular.
There wasn't inclusion.
Regular schools.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
wow.
Some really disabled students would just go to special schools.
Wow.
They weren't included.
Okay.
I know I've always been proud of the fact of trying to do something called the least restrictive environment. You try to get
I've
provide
had that.
services for special education students.
Like in the regular classroom.
Yeah, right, and
for what they can handle.
So like it's kind of disturbing when we heard or when I heard they're thinking of disbanding.
Will that eliminate No Child Left Behind law?
I guess it will.
Well,
I mean, I don't know who's going to be in charge of enforcing this.
Right.
I know that the Department of Education doesn't really do anything locally.
No.
They just provide. I know they provide lunches. I think they're part of the lunch program. I know they're part of Title I.
Okay, Title I. Yeah, that's
which
another.
Is if you don't know what Title I is, it's money that's sent from the federal government for underprivileged schools.
Right. Does that have something to do with athletics too? For
that's
girls?
Title IX.
Oh, Title IX. Sorry about
and
that.
And guess what? I mean, that was a big thing. I mean,
that's another thing.
With there was a big hot button transgender issue, but with Title IX, Title IX is a federal law
Right.
and
That's what I mean.
enforced by the Department of Education.
Oh, that's
so
what I
if
mean.
there's no Department of Education, I don't know what happens to Title IX, but
that's what I mean.
Title I is to help underprivileged schools, underfunded schools.
Right. Okay.
And I pretty much outside of those two programs, the lunch program and Title I, and then the special education program, Department of Education doesn't do anything locally.
No, a lot of it's still local. He said.
Yeah, of course, curriculum.
I think 92% of financing is still local.
Oh yeah, local. Too.
I heard that stat.
Yeah,
but it's more. I think the legal aspect.
What could happen, and you heard about Department of Education manages the student loans.
Right. Yeah. People are like, do I have to not pay?
I heard that they want to send the student loans to the
Small Business Administration.
Yeah, like they have. When they're getting rid of half their department,
right?
That's
where it's going to go.
And then
I think Department of Education will do Health and Human Services.
It's going to do the special education.
Yeah, on top of everything.
Yeah, on top of everything else. When they cut half the staff.
Right, with half the staff. That should work out well.
And
I mean, run the numbers.
Measles running rampant.
Down south.
So anyhow, I've been a little disappointed. We thought we'd have a little fun today because not that this is a fun topic, but people are worried about education in America.
Yeah.
I know. I got to tell you, always proud of teaching special education. Yeah. But one thing I've always been proud of, and I've always tried to instill this in my students. I always try to instill students to be lifelong learners.
Yeah.
That's always been like a goal. I know of my school. It's always a goal of myself.
Teaching independence.
Yeah, teaching students to think for themselves,
to take care of themselves.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
solve the problem.
Correct.
Solve the problem.
Right. It's
get it done.
It's the master teacher that doesn't sit up and lecture, but has the students centered learning. Let them decide what they need. And look, that's what we all do. I know people complain about education, complain about teachers. I know the teachers I've worked with, they always let students do student-centered learning.
Yeah.
And
I also work with just staying organized.
Yeah.
Kids come in, I'll bring up the backpack, and there's an apple. I get it.
Listen, there's a lot more than just teaching ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s.
Right. Exactly.
And I know teachers out there, you're doing a great job.
Right.
Working really hard.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like a slap in the face when people put down education, put down teachers, say we're not doing enough.
Yeah.
When we're really working hard.
Right. And some people do appreciate it. They're like, 20,
I think
20 kids in a classroom.
We talked about COVID and
yeah, parents got a little, had a
taste of what it's like to try to.
That's 3 or 4 kids.
But
I'm just saying they did a great job.
Yeah, they
did.
They did.
That had to be tough for parents that COVID, keeping them busy, getting them on for school. But
and we appreciate we appreciate parents.
Yeah, they did. They tried
really hard.
Yeah.
But back to education. But we all have fun and we all laugh and we love when Jimmy Kimmel, the man on the street, they do the interviews and they ask if someone can identify on the map like Africa, or they can name
a state.
A state.
A big one.
Can you name the 7 continents?
Yeah.
And we all laugh and we think it's funny when they show pictures of, do you know who this famous person is? And they have no idea who it is. And we laugh and we have fun.
But
at the same time we're saying, what happened?
Yeah. Oof.
There was a great TV show called "Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?"
I never watched it that much. I was afraid I wouldn't do well.
I know our school,
like,
our local, I think it was Fox 29.
Okay.
They had a competition, teachers against students. Ooh. And Truman was highlighted on that TV.
Oh, really?
Show. Yeah, there's probably a video. Check out YouTube.
Did they beat the teachers? Did you guys?
I don't remember. I think the teachers beat the students.
Really? That'd be tough in high school.
But you'd be surprised. We have some fifth grade questions here. You have some. I have some.
We put together
I think we'll have a little fun. We'll ask some questions to each other.
Yeah.
We'll give it a little bit of time before we give an answer. So you out there maybe
thinking too.
Yeah, like maybe I know that answer.
You can play at home.
Yeah.
Just like with COVID, I had the girl's mom play Kahoot.
Yeah, and you know what? Again, lifelong learners. We're supposed to be lifelong learners. Yeah. We're supposed to know, the 3 branches of government.
Right.
We're supposed to know that the president can serve for 2 terms for 8 years.
Right.
We're supposed to know this stuff.
Yeah, it's not a lot to learn either.
And we're always surprised.
Yeah.
When someone says, "Can you name the capital of the United States?"
Mm-hmm. Washington, D.C.
No, right. But
I thought it was a trick question.
No, it's not a trick question. But
here's the thing, though. When you do the state capitals, it's never the city you think.
It's never the city.
Like, it's like Pennsylvania, they go Philadelphia. You're like, nope,
Right.
Harrisburg.
It's
people
never, think that.
Yeah,
like,
I do too.
Like New York. You think it should be
New York?
Yeah, it's
I don't know
Albany.
California?
Sacramento. Good one. Yeah,
but that's another one. LA.
I'm pretty good. Yeah, you would think. Yeah, right.
That's Sacramento.
I know. So you would think that people would have more general knowledge or just knowledge.
I think teachers in our school, I know the kids have to know every state, but I don't know if they have to know the capitals too. Maybe high school.
I remember back in the day.
I had to do European
We had the
capitals.
Can you name all the presidents? That's a tough one, man. I
I
can't do that. But
I can.
But we used to have contests with that. How about the spelling bees? Our school used to love the spelling bees.
My one sister's really good. I think that's a gift.
We know people. Yeah. First of all, everyone can learn.
Yes.
And everyone can learn. And I used to tell my students that you may have a disability, but everyone can learn. We learn a little differently. Mm-hmm. But there is no excuse for not being lifelong learners.
Right.
When someone says, "What's wrong with the education system?" How come they don't know this? We believe you me.
Right.
We've taught them. I know in math, the multiplication table.
That's my pet peeve, man. The pet peeve. Well, here's the thing: teachers have to teach certain things, like the curriculum, or to get ready for the standardized testing.
Right.
So I get it. Like teaching the multiplication tables, it takes time.
Right.
And if they can use a calculator, don't move on.
There's a way to move on.
Which I don't think they should be able to use a calculator.
I'm telling you, and you can confirm this. You've taught the timetables.
Yes. We did it on. Actually, we did Book It, and you could put them on there, and it was great. That was great for that.
Students' responsibilities.
You got to learn
to memorize those.
Right. I had one girl was great at it when I taught the Advanced Math Placement AMP in Pennsbury. So it was like the gifted math. So I did 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's all I taught was math, but each grade level. So 3rd grade, I decided, I was like, the one thing they're going to be able to do is multiply.
Right.
That's it. They will know. So we did bad minutes. You give the kids a paper and you time them, you're ready to go. And the one girl I remember, Sammy, she was real small, she was funny. So I said, she was good. She's like, Mr. Britt, I need 2 papers. I can do 120 in 2 minutes. I'm like, what? I'm like, all right. So finally I said, as we always say, Sammy, how did you get so good at doing the multiplication table? She goes, just memorize them.
Yeah, you practice.
That's it.
You gotta practice.
Sister.
Listen,
that's it.
We know students hate homework.
Right.
But
skill and drill,
that is what you got to do, and especially for math.
Right. It's like an instrument. You sit there and you do.
Right.
You learn the chords.
To become a pianist, you have to practice.
Right. Any instrument, you have to practice.
I had a little list there. Anyhow, so let's have a little fun here. Let's ask some. These are 5th grade questions.
Yeah. Okay.
That you would think everybody should know.
Or pretty close.
Close. Yeah. You want to hit me with a question?
Sure. Let's go a little geography.
Ooh.
This is kind of a sucker one.
Go ahead.
Okay. In which state is the Grand Canyon located?
All right. I've been there.
I've been there too.
So out there, you should know this. It's Arizona.
Arizona. What do you think most people guess?
Nevada.
Or what river runs through it?
Oh, the Colorado.
Or a river. So you think that's huge, though. I can't believe it's just one state. I've been there. It's huge.
It
or
is
Yellowstone.
huge. You would think, right?
Yellowstone's huge.
How about the Grand Tetons? Are they?
I've been there. Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Is that in one state or more than one?
Yeah,
state?
one
No.
state.
Okay, all right.
Jackson
Haven't
Hole.
there.
Been there 3 times. It's awesome.
All right.
Grand Tetons.
What would you like? How about a math question?
All right, that's everybody's favorite.
Let me give you a math question. All right, let me see.
All right.
Here we go. 5th grade math questions.
Okay. Here's one. What's the capital of Canada? Not that we live there, but.
Is it Ontario?
Oh, close.
No.
Ontario's a good guess. Ottawa.
Oh, okay.
See, again, another one.
Another
or Quebec. When you guess Quebec?
How about this one? All right, now this is something that gives people problems.
Okay.
This is fractions.
Oh, people hate fractions.
What is the decimal? This is a 5th grade question.
Okay.
What is the decimal equivalent of 3/4?
3/4. Okay. So I say, think of percents means 100.
Okay.
That's all the kids is. So if you have 3/4, how many money do you have?
Oh, good one.
75 cents.
75. So it would be
right.
The decimal
0.75. 0.75. There you go. Okay.
And I know for people out there,
seems trivial.
It's not trivial because we have this. I think they're called Doge. I think it's called the Department of Government Efficiency.
Right.
And I believe the young men that are investigating government efficiency are confused with decimal points.
Oh, good. That doesn't make a big difference. Only a factor of 10.
So I think when they've been investigating fraud, waste, and abuse.
It's not 1%. It's 1/10 of 1%.
Correct. And 1/10 of 1%
is huge.
Is huge.
It's not double. 10 times.
Correct. So when they got rid of, I think called USAID.
Yeah.
I think
I remember reading about
they were considered. I think they were 0.01% of the budget.
Right.
Which is not 1%.
No, and the decimal is not 0.1.
And it's huge.
Right. It's huge.
The difference.
Right. So my kids, I have to say, because they have the calculators, there's always some function button on there. And I'm like, all right, real easy, guys. Fraction to a decimal. Everybody likes decimals. Top divided by the bottom. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Every time. It's my kids.
I know.
I think they'll know that.
I'll be honest with you.
They're like, kids, how you do it? Top divided by the bottom.
Most of my students, and again, I taught ID, intellectually disabled, for pretty much my entire career. We would do, of course, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. When we got to fractions, I don't know. It's something about fractions.
Everybody hates fractions.
That my students cognitively
you can't do it, man.
Couldn't do it.
People were like 5/8.
I don't know.
What's 5/8, dude?
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
now metric is all 10.
Yeah.
Metric, all you have to do is move the decimal.
Correct.
And once you understand it, you're like, that's
we're
really
supposed
easy.
to. I think when we were younger,
Carter.
we were going to move
Jimmy Carter.
to the metric system.
Right?
Never happened.
He saw it coming.
Never happened.
Jimmy Carter.
All right, hit me up with another question.
All right, here's a good one. Okay, this is another one people like. What is the value of pi, P-I, up to 2 decimal places?
Well, I know what pi is.
Okay.
Other than pi,
okay.
I'm not sure what you're asking.
What's the value of it? If you put it in the calculator, pi times something.
I know.
You don't push the pi button.
I know what pi is.
Okay.
And we actually had that.
This is a tough one.
We had a little holiday because they usually do a little celebration on 3/14.
March 14th,
yeah,
Pi Day.
Usually Pi Day.
Right.
In our school, check out, there may be some video on Instagram or we pied teachers in the face as a fundraiser.
That's good. Pie teacher.
So
I
there's
would
some
raise
video out there
$1,000.
of some teachers getting pied in the
I
face.
should tell Ed that
but
one.
pi is 3.14.
3.14, right. So you ask people, what is it? They go, all right, 3.15. I go, well, what does that mean? They're like, well, it's for circles, which is true.
Okay.
But that's about it. They're like, I said, well, what is it? 3.14 what?
It goes on and on and on and on, correct?
That is another feature.
It goes on and on and on. It doesn't
end.
end.
It doesn't.
I don't know.
What else is mysterious
Hit me.
about it?
I don't know.
It doesn't repeat. There's no pattern.
Ah, okay.
So there's no repetan.
Wow.
My students will know that because we taught that for a thing. So
you know what? I got to tell you.
It doesn't repeat.
Listen, some of the students at Truman and some of the students at Armstrong want us to give them a shout out.
Oh, okay.
So any Truman students that are watching this, shout out to my followers.
Cool. Yeah, my guys at
Armstrong
they're flagging me down.
Our Armstrong volleyball went viral.
That was the
Almost
first one.
7,000 views.
Wow. on that little snippet, man.
A little snippet. They love
But that's for someone with TikTok.
They
right?
request. They want Mr. Dayton on the show.
And
then I got some people asking
he's
for
up for it.
Mr. Craig on the show.
Mr. Craig is good. Yeah.
There's some. All right, let me hit you up with a question.
But
How
anyway,
about
pie is?
all right.
But people really don't know what it is.
All right,
it's a ratio. We'll leave it at that.
This is interesting. And one of our schools was named after her. Who was the famous nurse in the Civil War known as the Angel of the Battlefield?
I should know this.
You should know this. One of our schools. It's now the
the
administration building in our district.
It has a name? The new administration?
No, it used to be called something elementary school, named after the
I
Angel
don't
of the
know.
Battlefield. Oh man,
I know.
I'm so disappointed. You people out there are probably screaming in their cars.
I know. Did she found like the Red Cross?
Yes. Found her a red cross. Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
I guess not. No.
Clara Barton.
Clara Barton.
On your tip of your tongue.
Clara Barton. No, I would have never came up with that whole thing. I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh man.
But yeah, Clara Barton. Okay.
All right, hit me up one.
Okay. Do you want to stay with math, or you want to change it
just
up?
whatever. You can do whatever.
All right. What's this drives me crazy too. What's 9 times 3? And don't use your fingers. Have you ever seen this trick?
No.
I go ballistic when kids do it. When anybody does it.
I think I know my time
So
tables.
you do 3. 1, 2, 3. 9 times 3, 20, 7.
That's a really good trick.
No, it's not.
27.
It is cool, but not when you're taking a test and you're doing that, or you're at Kohl's and
you're doing
it drives me nuts. Yeah, kids,
All right.
I see it all the time.
I got.
But it only works for 9s.
Only
8?
9.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't work for that.
Just 9.
Listen, I just memorized my.
But just memorize it, right?
Okay?
12 times
I didn't
12,
learn.
Right. 144. That's it, man.
All right, here we go. I'm going to give you another person you should know.
A lot of pressure now.
All right, what is the name of the U.S. civil rights leader who refused to give up her seat on the bus? Everyone should know this one out there.
Oh, I keep getting her confused with.
In 1954, maybe?
Yeah. I'm stuck on the
It's
Underground
not
Railroad.
Harriet. It's
That's
not
what I'm
Harriet
stuck on.
Tubman, okay? Come on.
Rosa Parks.
There you go,
Rosa
Rosa Parks.
Parks.
Good one.
Yeah,
Good
I
one.
actually went to the high school. Remember where they had the girls, the National Guard had to take them in?
Yeah.
During the civil rights?
Yeah.
We went to that high school.
Wow.
In Arkansas.
That's pretty.
And it looks just like, it looks beautiful. It's like from,
Yeah, what is
I don't
that?
know when it was built.
What was that called? There's a name for those.
The girl, yeah, the group.
The group.
But
of
we
kids.
went to that on our summer trip. We went there.
Wow.
And it's a beautiful school. It looks like something out of a
Something?
movie. Yeah.
Was it the 8? Was there 8 of
Some
them?
8 or
Yeah,
something like that.
All right, give me another fifth grade
Okay.
question.
How many legs does a spider have?
How many legs?
That's important.
I think I know this. People out there, legs should be 8.
8's very good.
All right.
Is it different for different spiders?
I don't know.
Wow.
See, okay, so you should all know that spiders
At
have
least
8,
yeah.
but does everyone know that all?
Like
Are they
tarantula
called-
might have 6.
No, I think they have 8. They're spiders, right? They're all considered. Aren't
Well,
they?
tarantulas.
Isn't that called arachnophobia?
Arachnophobia? Yes.
Right.
Very good.
Does arachnid mean 8?
Don't know.
Yeah, not science teacher.
I should go.
There
with
is
you.
some general knowledge we don't know.
There is. We don't know everything.
All right, listen. Should I give you another? Well, I'm going to give you this one because you should know this one, and every
lot of pressure,
student
but yes.
that attended your school should know this one.
Oh, okay. I know.
Who was the first man to step on the moon?
First man? Neil A. Armstrong.
All right, Neil
Very
A.
good.
Armstrong.
Very good.
Yeah, everyone.
Kids
should-
might not know that because it was so long ago. 69.
I guess.
I'm just saying. Like
Yeah,
they
I
don't
know.
remember the space
They should
shuttle.
know that one. Well,
I'm just
do you
saying.
know
like,
where you were when the space shuttle Columbia exploded?
Yeah, I was in.
See, these are things.
I think 11th grade science. We were watching it. It was the first time, not the first, but when because you had cable then,
Right,
And the
right,
guy
and people-
wheeled it in.
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
watched
people-
it live, and I was like, ooh. I think that was it. 11th grade.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah. But I'm just saying, the kids, I go, remember space shuttle? They're like, no. I'm like, oh.
I know.
They're like, Mr. Richard, we're only 12.
It is pretty. It is.
I'm like, oh, you got me on that one.
All right, give me one.
You got one? What is the largest mammal in the world?
Well, I know this one,
Okay.
and it's funny. This was on. Where was I? I was watching something that talked about that exact question. It's a blue whale.
It's the blue whale.
It's the blue whale.
And you got the blue whale.
Yeah, I know it's the blue whale.
That's like a trick.
No, I think when we were in London a couple years ago. We went to the British Museum
Oh,
and there was a blue whale. They had,
yeah, you're right.
They
It's the
had a
length
blue
of it.
whale.
It
I
was
can
huge.
remember that.
That's right.
It was unbelievable.
It was like the length of the museum. That
You'll
was
see
big.
it time.
I think DC's got one too.
All right.
In Washington,
I just
DC, I think
it's Smithsonian, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's Natural History Museum. Yeah.
All right. I got a question now. This one is an English
Yeah.
question. If we don't get this right,
Oh boy.
Mrs. McHugh is going to be very disappointed.
We're gonna have to do a
But-
tier class. Enrichment. Is it no? What is it? It's not enrichment.
So-
What's the other one now?
Enrichment?
No, that's a
No,
tier.
it's tier. They have the tier program.
They
where-
don't call it tiers anymore.
Well, I don't know.
But yeah, Richmond's good. Richmond, you don't need extra help. All right, good. A lot of
All right.
pressure here. Better not be an adverb.
No.
Adjective.
What is a pronoun?
Oh, jeez.
A pronoun. Well, can you give me a pronoun?
I think a pronoun would be like he, she.
Correct.
So a noun, person, place, or thing.
Oh, good one.
So a pronoun is if you don't use like he, she, it, them,
Takes the place.
of a noun.
Takes the place
Okay.
of a noun. Yeah. I know there's this crazy.
I don't know. I'm never good with. You went to Catholic school. So
I
you
did.
really know that, right?
Yeah.
Did
Well,
you
in Catholic
diagram
school,
sentences?
diagram sentences.
See, we never did
I
that.
hated it.
Yeah, I got it, but we didn't do
People
that.
out there in Catholic school, we used to diagram sentences and a little line this way and a line this way and a line that way.
I didn't do that in school. Yeah,
But,
not that like.
Yeah,
that.
the and this is another thing that bothers me is the obsession with pronouns. Today in our political world.
Who are you?
All right, ridiculous. Okay,
Yeah,
let
just-
it go.
yeah.
I believe
Just call me.
there was another executive order to
Right. They changed it back or something.
say
didn't
you could only be
One of
he
them.
or she.
they? Right. Whatever.
I don't know. Anyhow,
I got bigger.
not
problems.
bigger problems in the world than that. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just know what a pronoun is.
Yeah. Just hey. If you
All right, hit me up with another one.
Oh, here's another good one. I thought. I highlighted a few. What is the longest river in the world?
Ooh.
I got this one wrong.
Well, okay. I think there's three rivers, and the Mississippi is the longest river in the United States.
Okay.
Okay, I believe it's between the Nile or the Amazon.
That's what I was looking at.
So it's either the Nile River or the Amazon River, and I'm going to go with 50-50 chance the Nile. No, it's
That is correct. I went with Amazon. I thought the Amazon was. I think the Amazon or the Nile. I think actually even goes northward at some parts. It like goes back.
No,
up, doesn't it?
so I think the Nile River starts in Ethiopia.
Egypt.
No,
Mesopotamia in this river
ends
valley?
in Egypt. It ends
it
in
ends
Egypt. It's the opposite. Yeah, it flows.
What does it flow up?
It flows from Ethiopia, I believe,
Up?
to
The whole way?
other side of the equator. Am I wrong?
No, but I know where Egypt is.
Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Isn't Egypt on the equator?
It's pretty close. Yeah,
And
it's at the top of Africa.
Wouldn't the other side of the world flow the opposite way than we
No, that's the toilet thing. If you flush the toilet in Australia, it goes the other way. Did you ever hear that?
Why am I wrong with Ethiopia?
I don't know. At parts it goes north, but not the whole river.
All right, well.
No, it goes from Egypt down to Ethiopia or whatever.
See that teachers have been teaching 60 years. We don't even. We
We're
don't know all the
we're not
answers.
really sure.
We
about
don't know all
that.
the answers, and that's okay.
Right. I
We
think
don't
I
know
read
the
it off of
answers.
Snapple Cap. But yeah,
Remember
you
that
got it.
Snapple Caps?
I love the Snapple Caps.
Oh
But
man,
yeah, I
they
guess
still do that.
I think they might. I haven't had Snapple in a while. But
All
yeah,
right.
the Nile River, you got it, buddy.
I got a science question for you.
Okay.
What is the primary component of the sun on that periodic table?
All right.
The primary component.
I'm going to say hydrogen.
You got it.
Go.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen. Most prevalent element in the universe.
Very good.
It's abundant.
And look,
It's abundant,
I'm
yeah.
not going to sell you that if you don't know that question.
Right, yeah.
If Jimmy Kimmel comes on the street
Right.
and asks somebody that question,
Yeah.
that's not something
No.
that maybe everybody knows.
They didn't even make it that hard. No.
All right.
No.
Listen, I think we got time for a couple more questions.
Got one here.
You got one?
It's a tough one.
All right.
Not tough, but what country has the biggest population?
Oof, I think it just changed.
Yes,
Is
it
that-
did.
is that
Man,
up
you
to
are
date?
up on it, man.
Because
Yes.
they've been these
you're
two
right.
countries have been going back
Yes.
and forth.
How often do you check the population, dude? I didn't know that. What, like, you check it on a daily?
I just saw
okay.
an article, and this goes back to lifelong learner. Like reading like articles. I love to go in. I like to read, news on the computer.
Yeah.
But I just saw that we might have underestimated the population of the world.
Okay.
We may be off.
What are
I think
we
it's
up to?
8 billion people in the world or something like that.
I always thought it was 7, but it's up to 8
But
now.
it's up to 8, and I think calculations are off a little bit.
Oh, really?
And there's scientists that are believing we may have underestimated a little bit.
Wow, more than that? Okay.
So it's between China and India.
Very good.
And it goes back and forth. Is it back to India?
I don't know. They had here China, but that was
okay.
But you're right. And I looked up India. I'm like, I think that's close. And they're really close.
They're really close, and it's been flipping back and forth between China and India.
Like down to like a couple million different, which is
and look
a lot.
For everybody out there, and this is one of the problems.
Right.
You should kind of know where we are in the world.
Yeah.
I used
just
to
relative to it.
Used to ask my students every year, and we would do it. We research where our bucket list. I always talk to the kids about a bucket list and where do you want to go in the world. Okay, and you can pick anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I would always say, where do you want to go? And somebody would say, New York. And I would say,
that's doable.
That's anyone. If you don't know where we live pretty close to New York, about an hour and a half on a train ride to New York. I would always say to students, think bigger than that.
Yeah.
Think outside of the United States. The next favorite place is always Florida.
Florida.
All right, I think bigger. Outside of the United States, go big.
Go big.
And then they would go, California.
Unfortunately, I had one kid that thought Chicago was a state.
Yeah, I know.
That was pretty good. I'm like, But again, some of the kids.
But we should know where we are in the world and
just
what's out there.
Get close. Yeah, so I looked it up. You're right. China, 1.4 billion. India, 1.4 billion. And then we're actually, surprisingly, third. We're only 330 million.
So, we think like perception-wise.
Like third-wise. We're way behind.
And people didn't know this. Because people were like, well, there's too many people in our country. The population of our country takes up 10% of the land mass in the United States. So only 10% of the land mass in the United States
has people.
Wow. So you think about,
10%. Wow.
So the rest of our United States.
Go to the middle.
I've driven from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh.
Oh, dude, I went across the country.
Once you leave Philadelphia and the suburbs of Philadelphia and you start to drive,
Lancaster,
there's nothing in the middle of Pennsylvania.
No.
For
a haul.
For 100 miles.
At least.
So if you drive that PA Turnpike and you go from Philly to Pittsburgh, you realize, wait a second, there's nobody out here.
And Pennsylvania's a wide state.
And then
when you're coming home, you're like, oh, we're Pennsylvania. No, you got like 4 or 5 more hours.
Right. Yeah. I drove from Philly to Boston, and it took us about 5 hours.
That's about right.
Yeah. It's about 5.5 hours from Philly.
But it's not a straight run.
No, correct.
It's not a turn.
I think
bridges.
From Philly to Erie, Pennsylvania, 8 hours maybe.
Wow. It's out there. I guess so, because you got to go up too.
Yeah. And so the United States, we have 330 million people, and 10% of the people live in the land masses has people.
It's usually on the coast.
Yeah, and 90% of the country. Oh, that always goes back to the red and blue when the election happens, and they're like, look at all the red.
But there's not many people.
Montana has about 500,000 people.
Right, that's not many. Yeah.
And California has 40 million people.
Yeah. It's like the 6th biggest country or something. Isn't it like so? The economy or something.
California. Their GDP is like the 4th or 5th
in the world.
Largest in the world. And like
that's amazing.
Montana has 500,000 people.
Yeah.
And
it's wide.
Just to let you guys know, Montana has only done vote by mail.
Oh.
They don't do in-person voting.
I think there's 2 states.
And everybody,
Utah's getting close.
and everybody gets a ballot in the mail.
Right.
It's worked that way for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
No complaints about Montana.
Nope.
But when we look at the map, the bulk of the center of the United States is
wide open.
It's completely empty.
Drive through Nebraska, Oklahoma.
Drive through Arizona. We drove
Texas. You can't drive through Texas in a day. They're like, it takes you 2 days. I'm like, 2 days? It's wide.
Yeah.
They want to get rid of the speed limit there. Like no speed limit in some areas. We saw 85 miles an hour was the speed limit in some areas. I was like, okay. And it's
I don't know. I just think we
weird.
Need to be more educated. We don't need less education. We don't need to get rid of the Department of Education.
No, I think we need a little more. Yeah. I mean, we got to nail down some stuff here, I think.
And I don't know. I hope you liked our show today.
Yeah. A little education, yeah. Third market period's almost over.
Yeah, we're in the third marking period. You know what's coming up?
Yeah, it's almost over.
You know what's coming up, and maybe we'll do a future show.
Oh.
Standardized testing coming up for all you teachers out there.
Yeah.
The PSSA or the Keystones. I know I did the alternative test. I think we'll do a show about that. And, maybe we can have on a testing expert.
Who do we? Well, I'm given enough of them, but I don't. What do you mean expert?
There's got to be someone
From, like,
out
the
there.
State?
No, maybe we can get somebody to come in that's given the standardized testing.
I have for the last
you
18
have?
years.
All right. Well,
What do you think I'm doing? Reading in the hallway?
Listen, thanks for joining us today.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what we say at the end of our show?
With every pour, there's a story.
Oh, good one.
Did I get it right?
You got it right.
All I'm always saying you got to pour first.
Don't forget, have a cold snap,
Cold snap.
and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Thanks, man.